Hello, my name is Antonio Sabatini, and with me today is my identical twin cousin, Eric. Now, as you recall, yesterday we were telling you of a bit of an adventure we went on, in which we brought back a bag of stories just for you. So last night, right after we had finished the dinner dishes, we were sitting around the table going over these stories. And then Eric asked me, "Do you think it hurts to go from boy to crane and back to boy again?" I said, "I don't know. What do you think?" And he said, "I think it feels like those times when you bang your crazy bone, you get all wiggy for a second and then everything's fine." I said, "Maybe. Or, remember that time when you were 8 and you went to bed and you woke up and you were 9? You were completely different, yet exactly the same. What do you think? Please let us know how you think it felt to go from boy to crane to boy again." Well, this is today's story. This is what it looks like in the bag. These little stories. And this story is called The Story of Two Frogs. Once upon a time in the country of Japan, there lived two frogs, one of whom made his home in a ditch near the town of Osaka on the seacoast, and the other dwelt in a lovely little stream that ran through the city of Kyoto. At such a great distance apart, they had never even heard of each other, but strangely enough, the idea came to them at the exact same time that they should like to see a little of the world. And the frog who lived in Kyoto wanted to go to Osaka, and the frog that lived in Osaka wanted to go to Kyoto, where the Mikado had his palace. So one fine morning in the spring, they both set out along the road that led from Kyoto to Osaka, one from one end and the other from the other. The journey was more tiring than they had expected, for they did not know much about traveling, and halfway between the towns arose a mountain. It took a long time and a great many hops to reach the top, and what was their surprise when they got there? Why, there was another frog before him. They looked at each other for a moment, and without speaking, and then fell into conversation, explaining the cause of their meeting so far from their homes. It was delightful to find that they both felt the same wish, to learn a little bit more about their native country. And as there was no sort of hurry, they stretched themselves out in a cool, damp place and agreed that they would have a great rest before they parted ways again. "What a pity we are not bigger," said the Osaka frog, "for then we could both see towns from here, and to tell if it's worth it to go on." "Oh, that would be easily managed," returned the Kyoto frog. "We have only to get up, to stand on our hind legs, and hold on to each other. Then we can look at the town he is traveling to." The idea pleased the Osaka frog so much that he at once jumped up and put his front paws on the shoulder of his friend, who had risen also, and they both stood, stretching themselves up as high as they could go and holding on tightly to the other so that they might not fall down. The Kyoto frog turned his nose toward Osaka, and the Osaka frog turned his nose towards Kyoto. But the foolish things forgot that when they stood on their great legs, their eyes lay in the back of their heads, and that though their noses might point to the places to which they wanted to go, their eyes beheld the places behind from which they had come. "Dear me," cried the Osaka frog, "Kyoto is exactly like Osaka. It is certainly not worth such a long journey. I shall go home." "If I had any idea that Osaka was only a copy of Kyoto, I should never have traveled all this way," explained the frog from Kyoto. And as he spoke, he took his hands down from his friend's shoulders, and they both fell down on the grass. Then they took a polite farewell of each other and set off for home again. And to the end of their days, they believed that Osaka and Kyoto, which are as different to look at as two towns can be, were as like as two peas. Thank you, God bless you, and good night.